Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, Jesus and Coffee Conversations. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I am going to be talking to you guys about love versus lust. And this video is a little long overdue. I had intended to do it 2 weeks ago, but then I did the wheat versus tares video, and then I had some problems getting that to upload. I don't know if it's because the devil didn't want me to upload it for you guys, or if it just was not the right time, and so God was slowing down the process. But anyway, that video is up and uploaded on my channel now, and I will have it so it pops up on your screen and you can go click it and watch. But yeah, so today's video, like I said, is about love versus lust. And I'm going to give you the definitions first. I got these from Google. Love is defined as an intense feeling of deep affection, a great interest and pleasure in something. And then if you use it as a verb, it's to feel a deep romantic or sexual attachment to someone. And then lust is defined as a very strong sexual desire. And if you use it as a verb, then it means to have a very strong sexual desire for someone, or a strong desire or longing for something. So it could be for food, money, power, fame, etc. And so as you can see, the two go hand in hand, and it's easy to confuse the two, especially in the early stages of a relationship or getting to know someone. And so that's why it's so important that you pray. So like when you meet someone, and let's be honest, when we see a person, we're like, ooh, she is, real fine, or he's real fine, or, you are attracted to them physically, and that in turn can have you attracted to them sexually as well. And so in the early stages, you're in lust, you're not in love. And so that's why you have to pray and you have to have discernment, so that God can lead you and guide you and help you know the difference, so that you're not wasting time, energy, money, effort on all of that stuff. So I have some tips here along with some scriptures. So when it's love, you have seen each other at your best and your worst. So that means that you've seen the good, the bad, the ugly, and you are still there for that person. You still want to be with that person. If it was lust, and you see their not so great side, then it kind of snaps you out of it, and you're like, okay, I don't think that I really want to be with this person, or whatever feelings you were feeling, they suddenly just fade. And that was a situation for me a couple of years ago, is that I was in a lustful relationship. It was like 6 months, and I was confusing it with love, until one day I just completely snapped out of it, and it was just like God was saying, okay, this is not the man that I have for you, but you're too blinded by your lust and your own desires to see that. And so anyway, I snapped out of it, and then I ended things with the person because it wasn't love, and I knew that that person just was not for me. So that's one way to tell the difference between the two. Another way is when you have serious and deep conversations. So if you are in love with someone, you're having those serious and meaningful conversations. Like you're talking about your future. You're talking about like your childhood, and all of these things, so that you guys are connecting on a level outside of sex. Whereas if it's lust, more than likely you're not really getting to know each other, you're not having those kind of conversations. It's more surface like, and you are more on the sexual side of things instead of the actual, okay, we're gonna work on this and really get to know each other. It's also love if you're working on building a life together, or if you have already built one. So if you're with someone and you guys are dating, then you're actually working on building something with each other. And so, like I said, you're talking about your plans for the future. You're talking about your plans, like where you see each other in each other's lives down the road. Or maybe it's somebody that you're married to, and you guys have built this amazing life together. You're happily married, you have kids, and you're still, you know, building that foundation with each other. You're still working on your goals and things. Whereas lust is you're not trying to build anything. It's just more so of what can I get now? What can I get in this moment? Love is giving. So if you're in a relationship with someone, you really are trying to outgive each other. So, you know, and it doesn't necessarily always have to be material things. Like you give your time, you give your effort, you give your energy. Whereas, you know, if you're lusting for someone, it's all about you and what you can get. You're not trying to really give anything to the other person. You're just taking from them. And then love is when you are dying to yourself and choosing the other person on a daily basis. If you talk to married couples, they will tell you that marriage is a commitment, and it takes a dying to yourself every single day and choosing the other person. So that is love. Like you're choosing this person. You are taking your, not necessarily taking all of your desires and things out of it, but you're not focused on me, 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 me. You're focused on, okay, let me help this person that I'm in a relationship with. Let me help him or her become the best that he or she can be. And then hopefully you're with someone that reciprocates, you know, all that you're putting into the relationship too. Because, I mean, let's be honest, some people are in relationships, but they just are takers and they're not givers. And relationships sometimes can be one-sided. So that's why it's important that you are equally yoked and that you find someone that gives as much as you do and wants the same things in return, so that it's not always you being the one to make the sacrifices and you being the one to always, you know, be the one compromising and things like that. It should be, it not always is going to be 50-50, but it should be as close to 50-50 as possible. Unless, of course, you're not dying to yourself, you're giving into your desires and urges and things like that, and you're not necessarily choosing that person, because if you are lustful, then more than likely you're not just lusting for that one person. That's why you have people that just are out here just sleeping around with whoever because they have lust in them, and lust is a spirit. And so that's why you have to really be careful about the things that you watch on TV and the books that you read, because if you're watching, you know, movies that are filled with sex and fornication and all that stuff in there, then that lust spirit jumps on you and you find yourself wanting to have sex and, you know, do all of these things because you're sitting there watching it. And there are some people that just have a spirit of lust attached to them. That's why you have, you know, some women and men too that they just ooze like sex appeal, and it's because they have a lust spirit attached to them. So those are kind of some of the differences. And then again, this last one that I forgot, love is demonstrated. So it's not just someone saying I love you, but they're actually proving it to you. They're doing things to make you happy. They are going above and beyond to make the relationship work, and, you know, all of that. Whereas lust is the opposite. They're not really demonstrating that they want anything more from you. Like, it is just a bam wham thank you ma'am kind of situation, whereas I got what I wanted and now, you know, there's the door and I will contact you when I want to, you know, have sex with you again or whatever it is. And then I have some scriptures. I'll read one of them and the rest I'll just put in the description box below for you. But the one I'm going to read is Mark chapter 7 verses 20 through 23, and it's the Living Translation. Again, it's Mark 7 verses 20 through 23. And then he added, it is the thought, and this is Jesus talking, it is the thought life that pollutes. For from within, out of men's hearts come evil thoughts of lust, theft, murder, and adultery. Wanting what belongs to others, wickedness, deceit, lewdness, envy, slander, pride, and all other folly. All these vile things come from within. They are what pollute you and make you unfit for your God. And I believe this is the scripture where I don't know, I think it's where they were about to eat something and they didn't wash their hands before they got ready to eat. And so the Pharisees and Sadducees were saying that you're defiling your body if you don't wash your hands before you eat. And Jesus is saying that it doesn't matter if you wash your hands before you eat or not, because that's not what defiles you. What defiles you are the things that come out of you. So your lust, your evilness, your wickedness, you're lying, you killing people, doing all of these things. It's what's on the inside of you already, like your human nature, your sinful human nature, that defiles, the things that come out of you, not what you put necessarily inside your body. So that is the scripture I'm going to read. And I have somebody in the Bible who lusted for somebody. And I think you can kind of figure out who I'm talking about here. It's King David in 2 Samuel chapter 11, verses 3-4, where he was on the roof and he saw Bathsheba taking a bath, and he filled with lust for her and he wanted her. And so he had his guards, go and get her and bring her to him. And of course he had sex with her, and the act of lust, or the sin of lust, led to him to commit another sin, which was murder. He had her husband murdered because, of course, she got pregnant and her husband was away at war. And so David was trying to cover the sin of the affair. And when her husband came back and he refused to have sex with her, David was like, okay, I have to cover my tracks. So he had him put on the front lines and had him murdered. So, and then after, of course, he was murdered, then David married her for himself. But when you lust for someone, it can cause you to make one rational decision after another. And that was the case with David. He acted on his lust for this woman, and it resulted in, an unplanned pregnancy. And then that resulted in him committing murder. And when you are lusting for someone or something, because you can lust for food and power and all of that stuff. When you lust for someone or anything, you're lacking self-control because you are strongly desiring what you can't have. And some people are able to control their urges and their desires and, things like that. But for the most part, it's hard to control those urges, and so you act on it. So think about in the terms of like food, like I love food, I love to eat, I'm from the South. And so, you are watching something on TV and then they show you this pizza commercial, and all of a sudden you are craving this pizza. You want that pizza for yourself, and so you find yourself, getting on the phone, ordering it online or whatever. So you're acting on that desire, knowing you're supposed to be on a diet or trying to eat healthy or whatever, but because you see it and they make it look so good and appealing, that diet, for the most part goes out the window, and now you don't have the self-control to say, okay, I don't need it. You're ordering the pizza to fulfill that desire that you have. And then what happens is you get the pizza and you eat it, more than likely too much of it, all of it probably. And then you feel disgusted afterwards because you lack the self-control to say no, or you lack the self-control to limit yourself to, 1 or 2 slices or whatever the case is. So lust is temporary, it's fleeting, and does not last. And that's why when you are getting to know someone, or you're trying to develop this relationship with this person or whatever, you have to ask God to help you in that area to keep you from falling into the temptation of lust. That's why you have to have those boundaries. That's why you have to have those conversations to figure out, okay, where is this going? So that you're not wasting your time, money, effort, or energy. And also so that you are keeping it holy and you're keeping it on track to eventually end up in marriage. So, you see somebody and yeah, you might want them because, they're extremely good looking, they got a nice body, smile, or whatever. And you don't want to get caught on that, the superficial, because those looks are not going to sustain the relationship. I mean, you know, if you get in an argument with them, you're not going to care how sexy their smile is, you know. Whereas if you get in an argument and you love this person, then it's like, I love you, we're going to try to make this work. But lust is just like temporary. It's like, okay, I'm just lusting for you. I don't have to make this work for you. I just want you for the here and the now, and then I'm done with you after I get whatever it is that I want. So pray for discernment. Pray for guidance and direction. Pray for the blinders and all of that to be removed so that you don't fall. And of course, if you do end up falling, I mean, just quickly repent. God is merciful and he will forgive you. And then just make sure that you set some boundaries of things going forward so that you don't fall again. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope it helped you. And of course, as always, you can leave me a comment. You can reach out to me on Instagram, or you can email me. Of course, everything is confidential unless you leave something in the comments, then everybody can see it. But if you contact me directly, everything is strictly confidential. I will put all the scriptures that I have in the description box below, including the one that I read in Mark chapter 7. Make sure that you follow me on Instagram if you have not already. If you're watching this and you do follow me, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. I'll put all of my social media, my Instagram, Facebook, and my blog. Of course, I will put the link for both of my books in the description box as well. And I think that's everything that needs to go in there. So yeah, thanks again for watching. Make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe, and tell others about my channel. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.